If I told you once, I've told you 33 times. You know they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans. So you don't stick out like a swollen, throbbing sore thumb. Now, am I onto something? Should we use Team Evil's tools against them? I don't know. I'm thinking of adding 33 inches to the wall and going 33 feet deeper to a new level, yep, level 8, of my deep underground military base. It is amazing how the number 33 is everywhere. Keep your eyes open, people. You too will see it. And while you're looking for the 33, don't forget all the symbology of as above, so below. You don't do religion? Well, like I told you, I don't care. Religion does you. And there's lots of religion out there. I had a gut feeling. No, I don't have a crystal ball. Just a gut feeling that putting a goddamn light on the wall would be a mistake. I should go with my gut feeling, people. I mean, what is this? Open season on humble messengers that dwell on walls? I don't know what's going on. Illuminating my position does make it easier to stay out of the dark. You know, I've been told I've been in the dark too long. But it also makes it easier for the enemy, Team Evil, to draw a bead on this most humble messenger. But was I surprised the other day, Monday to be precise, when I was targeted at the bottom Peter Pit. But not by Team Evil. No, by a good sub to my channel and another person, another Canadian. God damn, is there something in the water supply after all? Is there some truth to that? Too much fluoride, perhaps? NAF? Now, some may call this fluff, and I'm fixing to tell you more, because I'm just getting started on Wednesday, the 4th of January, 2023. Hang with me to the end, people, because I'm going to have some good investment strategy for some of you people who care. You guys ever hear of the low illumination vertical insertion? Well, that's military speak for we're going to bomb your ass at night. And I don't remember it getting dark Monday at the bottom of Peter Pit, but bombed? Yep, out of nowhere. Must have been vertical. I'm just sitting there, minding my own business, between a good sub and an ex-Canadian, both from Botno, when I was targeted. And just like that, for no reason at all, the businessman from Botno said to me something to the effect, not a direct quote, "If I owned 6 businesses and end up having to cut firewood because I was so broke, I'd be embarrassed and hang my head in shame." Wow. Now, I don't know why he stopped there and didn't also say, "and live off your wife and kids and borrow money from every Tom, Dick, and Harry cube." Because, boy, I hear that a lot. I did not see that coming, people. I was merely acting as a humble observer, caught between the businessman and the Canadian that were having a heated argument. But because of my high level of training, travel to a quarter of the world, and time and rank, I was able to take those lemons, Botno lemons that they were, and turn them into lemonade, a teachable moment. And I'm going to share that with you. Now, after the brutal, most vicious and violent attack on me, I simply said, "Are you that shallow that you judge people based solely upon the size of their bank account?" I mean, is that where your treasure lies, people? We've got to think about this. Now, this doesn't just apply to my good friend from Botno. It applies to all of us. It's just something to consider. Now, come on. That wasn't bad for not being prepared for the attack. And the next time I see him, or if he's listening today, I'm going to thank him for a teachable moment for all of us. I hope today we can all learn something at my expense. That's how nice a guy I really am, people. Oh, and by the way, the sub who attacked me is also a taxpayer. If I had been thinking, if I had seen the attack coming, I would have asked a taxpayer if he still protests the Vietnam War. I've told you guys 33 times in the past already. Taxpayers today are as obsolete as Vietnam War protesters today. Need to master that fact, or you're living in a fantasy world. Poverty is a way of life for some, a mental state of mind. Being broke is a temporary condition. Don't make a federal fucking case out of it. Easily correctable. Poverty? Not so much. In fact, most of the stuff, and you know I meant the stuff, most of the stuff I daily have to do is working to correct my temporary condition, being broke. And come to think of it, I don't think I've ever asked a Botno businessman for a dime. I don't know why he feels he has a dog in this fight. And to answer his questions to me, for all of you still listening, No, I'm not embarrassed. No, I don't feel ashamed. And yes, I can still hold my head high. You guys remember the famous Christmas movie when George Bailey was told by Clarence the Angel, George, you had a wonderful life. And so did I, people. And Bible warning, oh yeah, it isn't going to kill you. Just a few quick verses that are so applicable, that means applicable, people, to today's podcast. Matthew 6:19 through 21. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where the thieves break in and steal. Now, let me interrupt here, people. Obviously, we're talking about something, you know what I mean? Gold, silver, precious metals, rock, stones, things like that. We're not talking about bookkeeping entries, numbers kept in the bank account, where you've always had thieves break in suits. Remember I told you about that on June 24th, 1968, and stole everything you think you now have. Verse 20, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroy, and where thieves do not break in nor steal. I'm not done yet here, but I'm thinking that says there's no bankers in heaven. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Let me reread that one more time. Matthew 6:19, verse just 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The whole chapter, Matthew 6, I would advise some people to read the whole chapter. Okay, currency devaluation, people. When they shipped you over to digital currency, ain't going to happen here. They're already working on it, for Christ's sake. Did you see what they did in England? They gave them 30 days. Spend your large pound notes, people, or they're not going to be accepted after 30 days. It will happen here. They're working on it as I speak. Currency devaluation, where they take your old $100 bill, convert it to digital currency, and say, oh, we moved the decimal point. Your old 100 is now a new $10 credit. You got to see this shit coming, people. That's what I see up on the wall. Now I'm going to see better without that light. All right, to wrap up this podcast, what a fitting wrap-up it will be. For the lovers of money, pleasure, and earthly things, here is some free investment advice I found on the internet. Now listen carefully, for there is a double-edged sword contained therein. I think this is kind of cool and applies and ties in with many of my podcasts. Here we go.
The explosion of data and analytics has helped the world solve problems it once thought unsolvable. It's led to massive improvements in the way we live, work, and play. But the journey of data is just beginning. Data communication is now moving out into the farmlands, reaching deeper into cities, and integrating into global supply chains. From tracking cows to cars, products to packages, the possibilities are endless.
I'm interrupting for a second. They didn't say to tracking people, but then maybe they did. They said from tracking cows.
And it's all powered by LoRa, the long-range, low-power technology, only from Semtech. Tech leaders are calling it the ideal IoT platform, essential building blocks for developers and system integrators, and a rapidly growing frontier that will solve real-world challenges in every vertical. Already, Amazon Sidewalk is integrating LoRa to create entire smart neighborhoods. Helium is using LoRa to expand the world's first peer-to-peer wireless network across North America and Europe. AWS is creating IoT solutions without sacrificing scalability, availability, or security. Mass adoption is next. Networks using LoRa are already on 6 continents and more than 98 countries.
Wow, people. Those that are into investing might want to consider LoRa. And they're talking about, of course, IoT is the Internet of Things. Truly, LoRa equals idIOT. But I digress. Where your treasure is, and where your heart is also where your heart truly is also. I would fail as a humble messenger if I did not remind all of you, be careful out there. When you go, as we all will, that means die, Bonafiders, you won't be taking any earthly things with you. So, store your treasures wisely. Guess what? I got stuff to do. Man, have I got a lot of stuff to do.